Hey everyone, welcome to this daily Sidereal Astrology forecast. This is for Sunday, January 12th, 2020. All right, so very important day here. We have the Saturn Conjunct Pluto going exact here today, and the Sun and Mercury activating it going into tomorrow. So been a very important time of the year moving forward now in regards to maybe restructuring things. We have Saturn, the planet of building, next to Pluto, the planet of demolishing and transformation. So really good time to start to restructure some things and maybe a new beginning emerging from this so that we can build upon these new foundations for 2020. So today we do have the moon shifting from Cancer into Leo. So the backdrop with this, the first part of the day is still good for emotional security matters, which was the case yesterday as well. Maybe spending time at home or private life. But as the day unfolds, going into the next few days, expressive Leo. Good for getting into that creative, playful, lighthearted side of ourselves. All right, so let's take a look at all of this here in more detail when we return. All right, so here is the sky for this Sunday. Now, normally this is for the weekend forecast, but I did that lunar eclipse video, so if you haven't yet seen that, do check that out. That's still very much in orb. We are in the heightened part of the lunar eclipse month here. But here is that conjunction with Saturn, Pluto, and also just so happens to be the Sun and Mercury activating it here this Sunday. So we'll talk more about this, but let's take a quick look at the general placements. We are coming off of that lunar eclipse from Friday, so it is still the heightened part of the lunar month. And if there were any things that have come to your awareness or are still coming to your awareness from last Friday, could be good to begin to or continue to implement, right? The full moon is about gaining some awareness, doing a bit of a status check with our life, and then starting to implement that energy moving forward for the next 2 weeks of the lunar month and the next 6 months of the solar cycle. So still good to do that, status check, see what we can further develop and implement, maybe make some shifts and changes along our life journey, and maybe use some of this momentum in this still heightened part of the cycle. Now, the moon is going to be shifting from Cancer into expressive Leo today, so the first part could still be good for creating a protective environment for ourselves and others, that emotional security, private life, home life, things on that level, really good to develop. As the day unfolds, and for the next few days, getting into expressive Leo, so our playful side, fun-loving side, the side that kind of wants to create, have fun, is humorous, this kind of thing, really good to develop this part of the lunar month. So here is this conjunction with Saturn and Pluto going exact here today. Saturn, the planet of structure and building, next to Pluto, the planet of restructuring and transformation. So this is a collective energy, and it's going to be taking us into really the whole year of what could be a restructuring process. So really good today, but these surrounding days, to have non-attachment to the structures that we've built for a very long time, because Pluto is going to help us restructure these things. This could even happen collectively. We'll see how this unfolds throughout this month. But in our personal lives, anything we've depended on, anything we've built, good to have that non-attachment so we can allow for that transformation and change. Because, you know, as long as we are willing to change, right? In order to change in the first place, we have to be willing to change, and we have to be not attached to the way things are, and to allow for that. So really good way of approaching this conjunction. Now, with this, it is going to require probably some patience and discipline in terms of whatever's being built, because like I said, this is a very long energy. It could take the whole year, in fact, for building whatever this could be about for you. Now, fundamentally, this is happening in the constellation of Sagittarius, which deals with maybe our beliefs and our outlooks on life, collectively speaking, our perspective, our philosophies, sometimes our adventurous side, things relating to that. So what can we do that we know might take some time, but right now, sort of release, really accept, practice non-attachment which can then allow us to see maybe the changes that need to be made, maybe again with our perspective of the situation or maybe with the situation itself. But allowing for change can, facilitate that process. So that's definitely the most important thing going on here today. And with that lunar eclipse, this is the most important thing going on this month. Now, the Sun and Mercury just happen to be activating this conjunction. Today will be Mercury and tomorrow will be the Sun. And so this does signify an activation of it on a day-to-day level. So these next couple days, just with day-to-day things, good to, again, be non-attached, be willing to structure, have patience, right, and discipline with things, maybe even face some fears, dive deep with some matters, right, is normally really good with any conjunctions to Pluto, and anything that we are willing to kind of face, right, and dive deep with. And again, that can allow us to be more non-attached and to transform things, which Pluto is all about. So activating it on the day-to-day level. And we could notice some literal new beginnings starting to emerge from this kind of rebirthing process that's happening here this part of the week. And this also means that all three of these planets are being dominated by the Sun energy here right now, right? The Sun is the vital life force, the energy, and they're all in fact behind the Sun at this time. So when it does come to these matters of what takes responsibility and discipline, it's just good to bring extra attention to this side of ourselves that does maybe want to do that. Again, the deeper side of ourselves we talked about with Pluto, but also with Mercury, our mind and communication and kind of day-to-day energy is being, again, dominated by more fire or more of the life force of the Sun or that side of ourselves. So again, good to bring extra attention to our minds, to our communication, to our day-to-day activities, just to make sure everything stays nice and balanced with this. But this is a new beginning on many fronts, both on a monthly and yearly sense, and even multi-decade sense. This last time we had this conjunction was roughly 37 years ago. And, again, new structures being built, but both on a day-to-day level, maybe some new things starting to emerge this lunar month in regards to these structures, in regards to these transformations. But again, also good to restructure things from the bigger picture standpoint as well. All right, so that's the day in a nutshell. One more thing I do want to add, Venus is entering into Aquarius. So on a side note, when it does come to what we're valuing in our relationship energy, it's really good to be connecting maybe in a way that's progressive, innovative, inducing some change, willing to experiment, try new things when it comes to our enjoyments, our relationships, right? Getting into that future-oriented energy, progressive energy, eccentric energy. Really good to be connecting in this way with the things and people that we enjoy in life. All right, everyone, so that is the day in a nutshell. Most important thing is this activation, Saturn conjunct Pluto, restructuring so that there is new, stronger foundations, right? But in order to create stronger foundations, we have to remove the old ones and pave the way for new ones. And that's what's happening both in the monthly and even daily sense these next couple of days. So good for that non-attachment and continuing with that patience and discipline. In terms of the backdrop, we do have the moon in Cancer the first part of the day, so that protective side of ourself, really good to cultivate. The later part of the day in the next few days, our expressive side with Leo. All right, so everyone have a fantastic day. Now down below in the comment section, I will put which house this Saturn-Pluto conjunction is taking place in. But if you haven't yet seen the yearly forecasts, those have been out, so I'll put a link to those as well because that's going to go into each of the signs in terms of what this transformation could be about on the yearly sense. All right, so thank you so much for all of your support, and I'll see you all in the next daily video. Take care.